you out of the game. Previously, the loading time back into game has felt really, really long. And actually, through some really clever tech work, we've been able to reduce that a lot so that we're down to literally a couple of seconds to load back in. And it's helpful for the really any situation you might be in.
Yep. So we any kind of interruption, whether you get a phone call, answer a text message, it's not infinite. So if you switch away for a really long time, then there's no guarantee that Vainglory is even running, which is for your phone's good.
Yeah.
But if you do a quick less than 10-second look away, come back, you should be able to get back into the game extremely quickly in under 5 seconds on modern phones.
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
Yeah.
This is great for me. I often accidentally forget to turn off notifications and tap out of a game.
No, exactly.
So this is going to be the perfect solution for my problem. Yeah, let's take a little run around the Winter 3v3 map.
Yeah.
So this is the Winter 3v3 map. Once again, I bought weapon items on a mage again because I was in the middle of talking about something else, which is stutter stepping on desktop on a mouse and keyboard control.
Yep.
We have heard from PC players that it is a little bit awkward and not as efficient on mobile. So this is starting in 3.9. If you use the left-click scheme, right-click scheme is exactly what every other MOBA does. If we don't want to change that, this is going to match most of your previous MOBA experience. If you're in left-click scheme, you can alternate between left-click and right-click to stutter step. So it's really simple. I don't even have to move my mouse. Now it will guess what I want to attack, so it's not as precise. This is the attack move issue. So sometimes it'll pick the weakest hero if possible, and then the weakest non-hero. Before, you kind of had to go back and forth between clicking on the ground and pressing A. And what I found is that it's actually just really hard to synchronize. It's really hard to synchronize somehow my index finger and my left pinky. Like the rhythm just doesn't work. Maybe the pinky is just a weaker finger. So now you can do left click, right click, left click, right click, and it's much more efficient than before.
I like
Nice.
that.
That's very cool.
That feels good. I haven't actually experimented with it, but I'm really enjoying watching it right now.
And don't play Weapon Magnus.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Weapon Magnus.
New meta, Weapon Magnus.
Yeah. It's probably not a thing. I will say a few things actually though about 3v3 since we are looking at the map. Hopefully. Oh man, I love this.
Do you love listening to Magnus?
Yeah, I love listening to Magnus. He has
really
some of the
enjoys
wackiest. Yeah, exactly. Some of the wackiest voice lines ever. But what I will say is this. We are not making a huge amount of meta changes to 3v3 in this update. However, we have not forgotten about 3v3. In fact, as we think about what Vainglory is moving forward, we do want 3v3 to occupy that space when you don't have time for a 5v5 game. You want to focus a little bit more on the mechanical skill, the tactical skill and teamwork in a 3v3 match. We want that to be a first rate experience in the game. So what you will see not in 3.9 but in 3.10 and beyond will actually be some evolution to the 3v3 meta. So we are listening to you guys. If you have thoughts on this topic, you should be tweeting. You should be tweeting us. You should be telling us, on Reddit and whatnot. We will be experimenting with this in the coming weeks. So expect changes to the 3v3 meta over time. Meanwhile, while you're at it, also a couple of other. We've also made some visual tweaks to, in addition to it just being the winter map. As you can see, I believe last year the winter map felt very, very bright. We've also toned it down a little bit, so it's a little bit more, a little bit better to look at for hours and hours. On a couple of other changes, your rank on the loading screen is changing. Surprise birthday, is it changing?
Yes. So your rank on the loading screen, it used to show the highest that you have achieved last season. This was very, very confusing for a lot of players, especially when you see someone on your team who is actually very good because they just came over as a seasoned MOBA player, but don't have a last season rank. We're now going to show you what you are right now. So everyone gets the most current and most accurate information about everyone else on the scoreboard for your team.
It's designed to reduce profanities while looking at the loading screen and wondering why you are being teamed up with somebody who was last season rank 5.
I
think a lot of people think that they lose games in draft and loading, and that shouldn't be the case. We should reduce this, this sort of toxicity and rage that people have during those times of games, because I think it can really set the mood for the rest of the game as well.
There just are a lot of cases where people are much better than they look.
Yep.
They climb very fast. They're new, but they're actually really, really good MOBA players.
Yeah.
due to Vainglory.
That's right. So that's a big deal. The other thing that probably is one of the most impactful things that we haven't talked about at all. We've talked about 5v5, we talked about 3v3. We have not talked about other game modes.
Oh my gosh. This is what I'm truly excited about.
Can I show the tiles?
Yeah.
Are we
come
ready
on.
to reveal? We're gonna reveal
Let's
all
show
of them.
the tiles.
Yeah, we can
Let's
take a look.
do it.
Basically, what we've been hard at work at behind the scenes has been